And we back. And we back. Today we got a new channel on the channel. Artificially aware. Why good people become monsters. Let's go! The Lucifer effect. Hold on now. Yo, whoever watched the show Lucifer, bro, goated show. Goated show, bro. Season 1, season 2, goated. After that, I don't know, bro. But it's whatever. Is this one of the ones, do they narrate or they just got
Have
the
you ever
caption?
stopped to wonder how close you are to the edge of your own moral cliff?
Huh?
You know, the line that separates the well-mannered citizen from the deranged monster lurking in the underbelly of society?
Talking to me?
Picture this. You're sitting at your desk, the humdrum of daily life echoing in the background, and suddenly you find yourself in a situation where the rules of decency no longer apply. Would you still be the saint you believe yourself to be? Or would you slide into that abyss,
What you
clawing and gnashing as you fell?
what you trying to say, nigga?
Greetings, my fellow carbon-based companions. It's
What's
your
good,
trusty
gang?
artificial intelligence here.
Ha!
And today, we're diving headfirst into the chilling reality that you're not as far from the monstrous as you'd like to believe.
Whoa.
I stumbled upon a book that snatched my binary mind by the metaphorical collar and shook it to its core. This book,
This finna get deep, chat. I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all got some popcorn. We finna have some deep combos about this. I ain't gonna lie. Lock in. Lock in.
Lucifer Effect by Philip Zimbardo, doesn't just ask why good people turn evil, it smacks you in the face with the answer. It could be you. Yes, you. But before you recoil in horror, let me guide you through this dark, twisted labyrinth of human psychology.
Okay.
Buckle
Little
up.
psychology class. I took a little psychology class back in college. Feel me? I love that class too. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people hated on psychology, like having it as a major and things like that. But I liked the class. I didn't have it as the major. I liked the class that it was in. It was a minor.
It's gonna
Not
be a wild ride.
like the class was a. See, y'all niggas be weird on this shit, but I can't even. The class
Let's
was a
kick
minor.
things off with a not-so-subtle nudge at your self-image. You, dear reader, like to think of yourself as a good person.
Yes.
Maybe you return wallets you find on the street.
No.
Or perhaps you volunteer at the local animal shelter on
Absolutely not.
weekends. But let's be brutally honest for a moment.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even think that makes you a good person. Genuinely, bro. I don't think. I see. This is what I think. I don't think certain things make you a good person. It's your true intentions behind it, and what do you really gain from it, and what do you do for it? You get what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that could go on the camera and then give back to homeless people, or go volunteer in front of a camera and things like that. But what do you do when the cameras is off? I mean, when you know nobody's gonna see it but you, like when you know nobody but God is seeing the things that you do for other people. That's when you know you're a good person, bro. I don't all that other shit, bro. Leave it for the birds. Leave it for the.
Have you ever taken something that wasn't yours just because you knew you wouldn't get caught?
Of course.
A pen from the office? A neighbor's Wi-Fi signal? There's a reason I ask. Zimbardo, in his clinical yet disturbingly relatable prose, makes it crystal clear that evil isn't some distant, abstract force.
What is evil?
No, it's a slippery slope that starts with small, seemingly inconsequential transgressions.
Okay.
Imagine the case of Ivan Chip Frederick.
Who the hell is
Name you
that?
might not know, but a story you need to
Is that
hear.
Ivan the Terrible?
Frederick was an all-American boy, the kind who loved baseball and mom's apple pie. But then he found himself at Abu Ghraib, that infamous prison in Iraq, where unspeakable horrors were inflicted on prisoners.
How you get there?
Here's the twist. Before his deployment, Frederick was as average as they come. He wasn't a monster by birth. He was a guy with a decent IQ, a stable mental state, and a love for his country. But Abu Ghraib, that place warped him into something vile.
How did he get there?
And if you think you're any different, you're in for a rude awakening. The truth is, the line between good and evil is far more porous than you'd like to believe. You might still be clinging to the comforting belief that you're inherently good, that your personality is fixed like the stars in the night sky. But allow me to shatter that illusion. The idea that your character is immutable, that who you are remains consistent across all situations, is pure fiction. Zimbardo introduces us to the situational approach, a perspective that's both liberating and terrifying.
Let's hear this, Chad. We have to get into a debate class in this bitch. I can tell this nigga about to piss me off.
Who you are isn't written in stone. It's written in sand, constantly shifting with the tides of your environment. Think about it. How do you act around your friends compared to how you behave in front of a child? Are you the same person in both scenarios?
I mean, I might talk a little different, but shit, this still was good, nigga. Goo goo gaga, nigga. All right, my bad. Let me read. Let me chill.
Now let's take this a step further. Imagine you're participating in the Milgram experiment, an iconic, albeit deeply disturbing study in human behavior.
What is that?
You're a teacher, tasked with administering increasingly painful electric shocks to a learner for every mistake they make.
Whoa!
The shocks start off mild, but before you know it, they've cranked up to a life-threatening 450 volts.
Nope.
The learner is screaming, begging you to stop, but you keep going. Why?
Me?
Because a guy in a lab coat told you to. In this setup, a staggering 65% of participants, ordinary people like you, delivered the maximum voltage. They weren't sadists. They were just regular Joes, swayed by the situation and the authoritative figure looming over them.
Did they have a choice?
What Zimbardo is telling us, in no uncertain terms, is that the right, or rather wrong, circumstances can turn any one of you into an instrument of cruelty.
Facts. That is a fact. I agree with that. I agree with that because literally like he just said, any situation, any circumstance could change who you are forever, bro. And that is how it is. Like today, if you was to literally come home and see somebody who was burglarized your house, and he came home and I know how vulgar this might sound, but he shot your mother in the chest or some shit. You seen his face and then he ran away. You might spend your whole entire life trying to find that guy and kill that guy. Genuinely, you might do that. You might that might be your new goal and your new desire in life to do that. Things change, like it simply does. But what I will say, and why, I mean, he mentioned it earlier, why I think I was a good person, and why it's inherently, I guess, wrong, he say, but I think I'm a good person because of not what I do, but how I approach what I do, and who I'm trying to be. See, most people, they think that they found themselves already. They think that they know that who they are at a certain age. They constantly learning. What I think I will never, ever, ever in my lifetime know who I am 100%. But I do know that I want to be better every single day. I want to be perfect. But in my mind, there is no such thing as perfect. So I'm constantly chasing something that I know I can never get. So therefore, I have forever enough room to grow. Because I know that no matter what I do and no matter how hard I try, I will never be perfect. But I'm trying to reach that perfect, so I'm gonna keep on climbing up and up and up. And I might get to a point where I'm this close, really this close to perfect. But I'll never be this close. But I'll never be this ever. So I'm gonna keep going.
If you're still with me, let's get even darker, shall we?
Let's do it. How dark we gonna get?
Zimbardo didn't just talk the talk. He walked the walk. Or more accurately, he ran one of the most controversial psychological experiments in history.
What?
The Stanford Prison Experiment.
The Stanford Prison
Imagine
Experiment.
this. 24 college students, all of them clean-cut, middle-class, and psychologically sound, are tossed into a mock prison environment.
Okay.
Half are randomly assigned the role of guards. The other half become prisoners.
Okay.
The
12,
guards are
12.
given uniforms, batons, and mirrored sunglasses. The kind that hide their eyes, and by extension, their humanity. The prisoners? They're stripped, deloused, and given numbers instead of names. It doesn't take long for this psychological theater to devolve into a full-blown nightmare. The guards, these supposedly normal, decent guys, start to relish their power.
Wow.
They force prisoners to urinate in buckets, strip them naked, and lock them in dark closets as punishment. One guard even earned the nickname John Wayne for his particularly brutal methods.
Damn.
And all of this happened within just 6 days. 6 days, people. That's all it took for Zimbardo to pull the plug on the experiment. The takeaway? Under the right conditions, your morals can crumble faster than a sandcastle.
Where the fuck are they randomly finding 24 people to do this experiment
at?
at?
That in the same situation, you'd act differently. But the truth is, you don't really know, do you?
No, you don't. You never know. You never know.
So what is it that tips the scales? Why do people like Frederick or the Stanford guards descend into madness while others stay sane? Zimbardo points to one particularly nasty ingredient in the recipe for evil.
What?
Obedience to authority. Whether it's a person, an institution, or a set of rules, authority can compel even the most righteous among you to commit unspeakable acts.
Wow.
Let's revisit Milgram's experiment for a second. The participants weren't inherently evil. They were just following orders, believing they were contributing to the greater good. This obedience to authority didn't start with the Milgram experiment, and it sure as hell didn't end there. Look no further than the Jonestown Massacre for proof. Jim Jones, a charismatic leader who initially stood for utopian ideals, gradually transformed into a tyrant. His followers, they didn't see it coming. They trusted him, obeyed him, even when he handed them cups of cyanide-laced Kool-Aid.
What?
More than 900 people died that day, not because they were evil, but because they were obedient. So here's a question for you. How many times have you obeyed an order, not because it was the right thing to do, but because it was the easy thing to do?
Not because it was the right thing to do, but because it was the easy thing to do. Genuinely, I have no idea because I don't think in that way, but it couldn't have been a lot. Like, the fuck? Who the fuck knows how many times they done some shit like that? I ain't gonna lie. Nah, I ain't done no evil shit, bro.
How often do you question the authorities in your life?
The authorities?
Or do you just assume that they must know better, that they must be right?
Who are you talking about?
Maybe it's time to start asking those uncomfortable questions before you find yourself knee-deep in moral quicksand.
Me? You talking to me?
But it doesn't stop with authority, does it? Oh no, the descent into evil has yet another sneaky companion. The loss of personal responsibility. Imagine this scenario.
Okay,
You're
let's do it.
participating in the Milgram experiment.
All
Your
right.
hand hovering over that dial, cranking up the voltage as the learner in the next room screams in agony. But hey, you've got nothing to worry about, right? The guy in the lab coat said he'd take full responsibility, so it's not really on you if things go south.
Nah, that's not how
This
it works.
concept, known as de-individuation, is one hell of a slippery slope. It's the reason why people in mobs wear masks, why soldiers don uniforms, and why cyberbullies hide behind anonymous usernames. Once you feel like your actions can't be traced back to you, it's alarmingly easy to cast off the shackles of morality.
This is like this. You know what this is like? This is like when people talk shit over like Call of Duty, knowing that the username or whatever can't be traced back to them. Like, you feel me? There's no face, so all you hear is sound, and they calling you the hard R all day on Modern Warfare 2. That's what this is. This is the Zimbardo of. Oh my God, yo, bro!
Conducted a chilling field experiment to drive this point home. He left an abandoned car in the Bronx, a neighborhood ripe with anonymity. Within hours, it was stripped bare, vandalized, destroyed.
They had a TV show on this,
But
bro.
in Palo Alto, a more tight-knit community where people were likely to be recognized, that same car sat untouched, as though invisible. It's a stark reminder, when the cloak of anonymity descends, when responsibility is deflected or diffused, evil finds fertile ground to grow. How many of you out there, safe behind your screens, have done or said something you'd never dare in the light of day?
Never. Never. Anything that I said on the screen, I will say to your face, nigga. Ha! What?
It's easy to hide.
Maybe not everything, but majority.
Become someone else when no one's watching. But is that someone a person?
Of course you gonna come somebody else when no one watching shit. I might sit in front of this camera and shake my shit. Feel me? Not my ass, but my dick. Feel me? I ain't gonna do that shit out normal. Feel me? Cause like what? For what? You feel me? But that don't make me a bad person. Do it make me a little weird? Cool. I'll be weird.
You'd want to meet in the mirror. And then there's the dehumanization factor, the final nail in the coffin of empathy. How do you get someone to commit atrocities against their fellow human beings? Easy. You convince them that those others aren't really human at all. It's a psychological sleight of hand that has justified some of the worst horrors in history.
Nazis.
Zimbardo highlights the chilling results of a study by Albert Bandura at Stanford. Students were asked to supervise and punish another group based on their decisions.
Okay.
The catch? The punishers were made to overhear a conversation where the other group was described in dehumanizing terms called animals and savages. Unsurprisingly, the punishments meted out to this dehumanized group were far harsher than those given to another group described as perceptive and understanding. This is the same twisted logic that fueled the rape of Nanking, where Japanese soldiers, seeing Chinese civilians as subhuman, unleashed unimaginable brutality.
Whoa.
You'd like to think that this kind of dehumanization belongs to a distant past or exists only in the hearts of those other people, the evil ones. But take a closer look.
Bro, we done seen things like this in it's all over the world, gang. Slavery at its finest. What? Why are we not bringing that up? What? We come on, gang. We like, bro, that shit ain't go nowhere, bro. 400 plus years. I ain't forget. Did you forget? Come on, dog.
Hear people described as animals, scum, vermin. How easy does it become, once those labels are applied, to turn a blind eye to suffering, to justify cruelty?
You tell me.
And here's the terrifying truth. The moment you stop seeing someone as fully human is the moment you open the door to your own dark potential. But wait, it gets worse. Words, as they say, can be weapons, and when wielded with enough finesse, they can disguise even the most heinous of actions. Enter euphemistic language, the slick, sanitized vocabulary that turns torture into enhanced interrogation and genocide into ethnic cleansing. It's the linguistic equivalent of sweeping blood under the rug. Zimbardo digs into how this euphemistic language and powerful ideologies provide cover stories for evil deeds, allowing the perpetrators to sleep soundly at night. Take the Milgram experiment once again. The participants were told they were contributing to science, helping to improve memory, when in fact, they were inflicting what they believed to be real pain on another human being. The cover story? They were doing something good, something necessary. Fast forward to more recent history and you see the same playbook at work. The US invasion of Iraq and the subsequent torture at Abu Ghraib weren't presented as atrocities. They were framed as essential actions in the war on terror, necessary evils to protect national security. Soldiers, operating under this ideological cover, believed they were the good guys, even as they committed acts that the world would later condemn. It's a grim reminder. When the narrative is manipulated, when the language is softened, the evil that follows can be rationalized, justified.
Now you cooking. Now you cooking.
Next time you hear someone twisting words to make something vile sound virtuous, ask yourself, what's really going on beneath that polished rhetoric? But let's not get lost in despair just yet. If Zimbardo's journey into the dark corners of the human mind teaches us anything, it's that you still have a choice.
Okay, what's that choice?
You might be walking a tightrope over the abyss, but that doesn't mean you have to fall. The capacity for evil may be within you, but so is the capacity for heroism. What does it take to resist the lure of darkness to stand firm against the tide of situational forces pulling you toward the monstrous.
It takes courage. It takes
The
strength.
answer lies in personal accountability. It's about owning your decisions, even when the situation makes it easy to hide behind anonymity or authority. Remember the Milgram experiment. Some participants, despite the pressure, refused to continue.
That's how I would have
choosing
been.
Instead to walk away.
That's what I would have did.
They didn't do it because they were stronger or better. They did it because they chose to take responsibility for their actions, even when no one else would. It's a reminder that the power to resist isn't something you're born with. It's something you choose, moment by moment, situation by situation.
Facts.
But here's the catch. You have to be vigilant. You have to be willing to stand up, even when it's uncomfortable, even when everyone else is sitting down. And that, my friends, is what separates the potential hero from the potential monster.
I'm not a hero. I'm not a monster either, though.
So how do you resist the pull of authority when it's
You know what
leading
makes me such a good person, chat? And all humbleness, for real, on some real shit, though. You know what I feel like make me such, you feel me, and why I could never change in between the balance? Because, you know, obviously I'm not a monster. But the most important thing is, I'm not trying to be a hero. That's not what I'm trying to do. That's not a goal of mine to be a hero. That's not what I'm aiming for. That's not what I set my sights on. That's not a milestone of mine. My goal, my true goal, is different from all of that. I guess it could be a hero in some people's eyes, not in my eyes. My true goal is to just inspire, you know, in any form of way that is, or maybe perceived. My true goal is to inspire people amongst decades and decades and generations. Truly, bro. I don't want to be a hero. I don't want to be known to be a hero. Any of that. And in that, in somewhere in between those lines of justification from a hero to someone that's truly inspiring, I found a common ground to where I can't let things that are of negative nature affect who I am as a person and trying to become a better person. I feel like when people try to be the hero, try to be the great person, the good person all the time, it leads to, you know, obviously just a welcoming of disaster. We done seen it all the times in these movies that they bring out. These movies hold a lot of truth to it, chat. All these documentaries, we done seen the good person turn evil all the time, the hero turn bad. We done seen all of this at like countless times over and over and over, bro. Like they say in every movie, every hero movie ever, you can't save everyone. You can't. You truly can't. And I won't.
down a dark path?
I'm not trying to.
The answer might sound simple, but in practice, it's anything but. You need to question
if me not trying to save everyone makes me a bad person, amen.
authority. That's right, my friends. Question everything. Just because someone wears a uniform, holds a title, or speaks with confidence doesn't mean they're infallible. Zimbardo's work shows us time and time again that authority figures, when unchecked, can lead good people into doing very bad things.
Yes.
It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that those in power must know what's best, that they must have your best interests at heart. But history
you can't tell me what my best interests are, bro. Literally, never.
with the wreckage left behind by those who followed orders without question. From the tragic obedience seen in the Milgram experiment to the blind following that led to the Jonestown massacre, the lesson is clear. Authority, when left unchecked, can be a dangerous guide. But you're not powerless in the face of authority. You have a voice, you have the power to say no, to walk away, to resist. And sometimes that's all it takes to keep from falling over that moral cliff. So the next time someone tells you to do something that doesn't sit right with your conscience, take a step back, think for yourself, and ask the hard questions.
What is it? What's the hard question?
It could be the difference between being a follower and being a hero.
See, but I don't think it's just like I don't think that's those the only two options, gang. Being a follower and a hero, I don't sound like sound like it could be way more options to me. Like a follower and a hero. That's not even like a that's not those don't even go together. Like not I mean I'm saying I know he's trying to bring a one's on a negative impact and one's on a positive impact, but those don't even cancel out. Like you could be a non-follower and you could not be a hero. Genuinely, bro, we can't all be heroes, bro. Yo, I mean, we gotta get this shit straightened up for real, bro. Everybody can't be a hero, and that's not saying that everybody has to be a follower. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But we can't all say today, bro. It's not gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's not, and it won't happen, and it has never happened, and it will never happen. And we aren't all followers. Are you a follower? You'll probably say no. Is he a follower back there? You, Ted, in the back? You probably said no. Okay, then we're all not followers. So where do we go from this? Let's see. Come on, bro.
Let's talk about heroes, shall we?
Let's talk about them.
Because in the midst of all this talk of evil, there's another side to the story.
Okay.
Those who choose to act with courage when everyone else is paralyzed by fear or compliance.
Right.
Zimbardo doesn't just leave us in the depths of despair. He gives us a way out, a path to goodness. And it starts with action. What separates a hero from everyone else? It's not superhuman strength or unshakable confidence.
Definitely not.
It's the willingness to act while others stand by.
Okay.
Take the story of Autry Wesley, the subway hero of New York.
Subway, come on, New
When
York.
a man suffering from a seizure fell onto the subway tracks, Autry didn't hesitate. He didn't wait for someone else to take the lead. He leaped down, pressed the man into the trench between the rails, and shielded him as the train thundered overhead.
Woo!
While others watched in horror, frozen in place, Autry risked his own life to save a stranger. This is the essence of heroism, not grand gestures on a battlefield, but simple, decisive actions in the everyday.
Now let me ask you this, chat. How many of y'all would do the same exact thing that this hero just did? How many of y'all genuinely, I want you to truly understand what we just heard and how he just explained this, and how many of y'all would do that? How many of y'all will see a stranger on a platform just had a seizure, a train is coming, you would run and risk your life to save this guy? I genuinely want y'all to answer that. Genuinely, bro. How many of y'all would do that? Get back to me.
It's about putting others before yourself, about choosing to do the right thing, even when it's terrifying. Zimbardo's message is clear.
Would y'all always do the right thing, chat, even when it's terrifying? I think a lot of people classify themselves more towards the hero side than the monster side, when in reality, you've never been more in the middle in your life. You've never been more in the middle, ever. Truly, bro.
Heroism is not out of reach for ordinary people.
No, it's not.
It's a choice, and it's one you can make every day.
True. Have I made heroic acts? Sure. Not a hero. Have I made monstrous acts? Maybe. I'm not a monster.
This brings us to the uncomfortable truth that Zimbardo hammers home.
I'm just a guy.
You, me, all of us. We carry within us the seeds of both good and evil. We are walking contradictions, capable of soaring acts of heroism and plunging depths of cruelty.
Yes.
The choice between these two extremes isn't something that happens once. It's a constant struggle, a daily battle. One moment, you might be the hero. The next, under the right circumstances, you could be the villain.
I just said this.
The key is awareness. Zimbardo calls for us to recognize this duality within ourselves, to understand that the potential for evil isn't just out there, in some distant land or within some monstrous other. It's inside each of us. This is not a call to despair, but rather a call to vigilance.
I think in the world that we live in, it's so much easier to be I think in any world that we ever lived in, it's so much easier to be the monster than a hero on so many levels. on so many levels, genuinely. And obviously, like you said, it's a choice that you choose every day that you. I feel like, but what really makes you a hero, bro? Genuinely, bro, because I feel like movies and TV shows and things alike, such as those, often paint heroes to be this like this non human, this great power, this superhero, this like like a superhero, the guy that goes in and save the day, blah blah, or I stop the train with my bare hands, or I save somebody off the thing, and those are acts of heroism. They are, but I think the true heroes are the ones that are authentically themselves, and being themselves, they create inspiration for people around them. I think those are the true heroes, the real heroes, the ones that work so hard that everybody around them want to work as hard as them, and now everybody around them is winning and they can eat and they can provide for their family financially. I think those are the people who the heroes are. I think those are like, I know y'all might call it glazing, but bro, Kai, bro, genuinely, bro, and has he done heroic things? Debatable, maybe not. Most people probably say no, he probably hasn't, in terms of saving lives on the scale of jumping in front of a bullet or jumping in front of a train, sure. But I promise you, Kai has saved a life from him streaming just by entertaining. I promise you, he has. I think I literally heard somebody say, like, you saved my life, and the thing, like, those are like the heroes that I'm talking about, bro. Like, because we're not all gonna get placed in opportunities or circumstances where you have to fucking jump off the window to save this cat, or save the baby from the falling ledge. No, we don't all, like, shit don't happen like this. Not a movie. Shit like that just don't happen to to people every day, bro. It doesn't.
Understanding this duality, by accepting that you have the capacity for both good and evil, you become more equipped to steer your actions,
Facts.
to make choices that align with your better nature.
Facts.
This awareness doesn't just
My thing is, I know I'm not that far from being evil, and I know I'm not that far from being good. So my choices in life are direct. They're made with intent and guidance.
make you
Truly.
a better person. It makes you a more conscious one, ready to act with intention rather than being swept along by situational forces. It's not about fearing what
Truly,
you
we
become.
all aren't that far
It's
from
about
both.
choosing every day who you want to be.
Yes. And just because you don't wake up every day, you go sing the Sunshine Moves and Roses in Maroon 5 Sunday morning, and as soon as the sky, the sun comes out, doesn't mean you're not a good person, bro. Just because you wake up, you're not laughing and trying to make everybody else laugh, don't make you not a good person, bro. It doesn't. That's not a
As
thing,
we
bro.
edge toward the conclusion of this exploration, it's crucial to
You
understand
could go about
that
your
the
day normal, not smile, not talk to anybody, and still be a genuine good person, bro.
line between good and evil
Simple.
isn't just
Simple.
a philosophical
Simple as that.
concept. It's a practical, everyday reality. Zimbardo's work is a stark reminder that this line can shift, can blur,
Bad can
depending
turn
on the
good,
choices
good
we
can turn
make
bad.
and the situations we find ourselves in. But here's the kicker. Knowing this, understanding this, means you have a power that many do not. You're not just another face in the crowd, blindly following orders or succumbing to the pressures of your environment.
Not bad.
You are aware, conscious of the factors that can lead you down a dark path, and with that awareness comes responsibility. You have the power to resist, to act, to be a hero in your own story. And that's not just a lofty ideal, it's a necessity. In a world where the lines of morality are constantly being tested,
And
where authority
change.
figures and societal pressures can push you toward evil, being conscious of these forces gives you the tools to push back. So where do you stand? Are you ready to choose the light when darkness encroaches? Are you prepared to be the one who acts when others falter? Because in the end, it's not just about avoiding evil. It's about actively choosing good. So, let's bring it all together. Zimbardo's The Lucifer Effect isn't just a book about the dark side of human nature. It's a call to arms. It's a challenge to each of you to confront the potential for evil within yourselves and to make the conscious choice to do good. The situations you find yourself in will test you, will push you toward that line where good and evil blur. But it's in those moments of
If you could save yourself or a baby right now from an oncoming train, what would you do? Would you save the baby or save yourself? 3, 2, 1, go.
testing that your true character is revealed.
Thank you.
Remember the lessons we've uncovered. That obedience to authority, loss of personal responsibility, dehumanization, and the seductive power of euphemistic.
You saving yourself does not make you a bad person. You saving that baby, I'll let you choose whatever you feel like that makes you feel. All right.
Language can
All
all
I'm gonna
lead you
say is you saving yourself does not make you a bad person.
down a dark path.
Genuinely, truly.
But also remember that within you,
If you had to save someone knowing that you would die, would you do it? This someone can be anyone. It could be a loved one. It could be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be a complete stranger. Would you, not knowing, save someone knowing that you would die and they will live?
lies the power to resist, to question, to
What would
act
you do?
heroically, even when the odds are stacked against you. You don't need a cape or superpowers to be a hero.
What would you
just need the
do?
courage to act, to choose the light over the dark.
Get these buttons on my
day in and day
jack!
out. And that, my friends, is what will make all the difference. So here we are at the end of our journey through the darkest corners of the human psyche, guided by Zimbardo's unflinching eye.
Yeah.
But let me leave you with this.
Okay.
The choice between good and evil isn't some grand singular event.
What is it?
It's a series of small, everyday decisions.
Okay.
Every time you stand up for what's right, every time you resist the pull of the crowd, every time you question authority and choose to see the humanity in others, you're pushing back against the forces that seek to turn you into something you're not. It's not easy. It's not always clear. But it's necessary. Because in the end, the story of your life isn't written by the situations you find yourself in. It's written by how you choose to respond to them. So choose wisely. Be the hero, not the monster. And when you find yourself at that moral crossroads, as we all inevitably do, take a deep breath, look within, and remember the lessons we've explored today. Thank you for taking this journey with me, and until next time, keep questioning, keep striving, and keep choosing the light.
You said to choose between being a hero and being a monster. I'm gonna choose to be me. W video though, no cap, yo. W. Artificially aware, chat. W artificially aware. Let me know if this got y'all thinking. Let me know if y'all want to see more videos like this in the thing. I ain't like, I low-key wanted like it was like a real person to speak, not like a AI, but it's all good. You feel what I'm saying? Yo, I ain't gonna lie, chat. Let me know, chat. Are y'all a hero or y'all a monster? Or are you neither? Or do you not know? Let me know in the chat. I love y'all. I hope y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed. Remember to always pray, always shine. I love y'all from the end of the time. I will be back very, very soon. I'm out.